All right, let's talk about the tools that made me successful in doing this project with the 7 motorcycles I got. So let's start with number one. Number one, best thing that I bought for this project was my ultrasonic tank cleaner. This tank cleaner on Amazon sells for like $100. And let me tell you, you cannot clean carburetors effectively without something like this. Let alone, I put brake calipers in here, I put brake lines in here, I put everything and anything I could fit in this ultrasonic cleaner to clean the gunk off of the pieces of these old bikes. One thing I will say about this that worked so well were the brake lines. All the brake lines on these machines were frozen, every single one of them. They all were worked up from years and years and years of just sitting around. That brake fluid gets really acidic and it just melts things. This thing right here, after leaving them sit in the tank for like 45, 50-ish minutes with the ultrasonic cleaner on, I was able to free up almost every one of the brake lines. Fantastic tool. You gotta have one of these. Number two, the slide hammer. This kit right here, boom chuckabucka. This is a slick tool. You got to have this for pulling out bearings. You slide it in the bearing, you twist it down, which expands the end here, and you're able to pull out the bearings with the slide action. And man, not having this would have not having this would have sucked. You can't pull out bearings without something like this. It's an absolute freaking must. Highly recommend, from Pittsburgh. Third thing that I bought here was a brake line making tool. So this kit right here off of Amazon allows you to make brake lines. So it comes with the brake line tubing, the flanges, etc. But this kit allowed me to make brake lines. And there was one of the bikes, I'm forgetting now which one it was. I think it was the RD400. That metal brake line I just could not get to work right. So I ended up having to make one, and this kit was super, super helpful. Amazon's where I got it. Super important one is a carburetor sync kit. So if you're gonna do any carburetor syncing on these bikes, especially 4-stroke bikes, you really, really wanna have these. 2-strokes are a little bit harder to use standard gauges to do the syncing. They should work just fine, but for most applications, it'll be totally fine. Super helpful. Believe it or not, never actually had to use it. I did most of my syncing physically by hand, and that's how I found the best way for me to do it. You can with the vacuum lines here, but for the most part, really don't need it. Another tool right here. This is my tap kit. I also got this right here from Harbor Freight. This is a pretty slick tool kit, tap and die set, that lets you basically thread anything, fix anything. If you do anything with powder coat, you have to have something like this, because a lot of times the guys will miss 1 or 2 threads and you'll have to run a thread chaser through it in order to put that bolt in. Otherwise, you will not be getting bolts in. Promise you. So you have to have a tap and die kit. The next few things that I bought were clutch basket vice grip. If you saw me, which you probably didn't in the RZ video, you need this kit, or you need this tool right here to hold the clutch basket while you torque it down. I had to modify mine a little bit. If you can see right here, I modified that to allow this to work to hold the stator for when you do torquing. So I use these back 2 prongs right here to hold into the stator, and hold it long enough to where I could torque it. Worked out perfect. Something I recommend. I got this off of Amazon. Next tool, flywheel puller. You gotta have one of these if you want to pull a flywheel. Plain and simple. Next one I bought, feeler gauges. You gotta have feeler gauges. This will help you immensely when you're setting carbs, because you can see if the carbs have the same opening for both sides. It's helpful, especially when they're sitting all the way down. It's easy to sync them when they're all the way up, when the diaphragms pull up, but it's when they're sitting down, it's pretty important. You can check it with this. Multiple uses for this feeler gauge, but nonetheless, that's what I used it for. Last but not least, my DeWalt gun for, all right, hang on, I'm getting a phone call. Un momento. Sorry, just got off the phone. My DeWalt grease gun. This thing works slick. You gotta have a grease gun because there is certain grease ports. Having this is awesome. This is not an ad for DeWalt, but I like DeWalt and Milwaukee. Preferably Milwaukee, but DeWalt's just as good. I will say though, I use a lot of tools in this process, and by far, tools are something that are an investment, and you're always gonna have them, you're always gonna use them. So in some capacity, investing in tools is probably a good thing. Can you get away with Harbor Freight tools? Can you get away with Amazon tools? Absolutely. I did it, I do it. Just remember, most of those tools are one-time use. You really don't need Snap-on tools. Believe me, you don't need Mako tools. You don't need all of these for everyday applications. If you're a master mechanic, sure, they get by, they work great. Snap-on, Mako, etc. But for average people doing this a handful of times a year, a couple times a year, your Amazon Harbor Freight tools, they work amazing. So don't ever think that buying those sorts of tools you're going to short yourself by any means. Is the quality maybe lesser than a Snap-on tool? Possibly. But the fact of the matter is you're also paying 1/8 of the price of a Snap-on tool. So just words of wisdom. Now, various products that I used. Obviously, brake cleaner. VHT paint, baby. I mean, I just used some Valvoline oil, brother. We got some Prestone brake fluid. Gotta use that, man. And last but not least, out of the most notable one that I actually used was this product right here. Overnight stain remover. Believe me, you'll spill some oil on the ground and you'll wish you had an overnight stain remover. If this isn't an ad, I don't know what is. Thanks y'all for following. Have a blessed day. Hit me up if you have any more questions.